This is Rodney and my wonderful wife, Denise. We're with the podcast Landscaping with ZebraScapes, and we want to tell you the story of behind it all. A lot of people see a business running and they're like, they got it made. What it takes to get going, it's impactful, isn't it?
Yep, we were not looking to start a business or own a business, but when the economy took a huge downturn in 2008, 2009, we were just trying to provide for our two baby girls at the time. And Rodney took a position as a night manager, and we started going door to door and putting the girls in a stroller and asking people if there's any yard work we could do for them.
Yeah, so that company I was working at, they laid off or terminated 30, and then they had another layoff. So work kept declining, and we had a family to feed, and we were raised to work hard, stay out of debt. So we didn't use the credit card to buy food. We grind it out. I would knock on doors, clean up yard, $200 to $300, write them on a paper. When I got to about $2,000 of work, I would tell them we're booked out about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then when I had enough money on the books, then I would went and bought the equipment, knocked the work out, and then I paid the bill. And all the business money went back in the business, and all the business I was working nights and you were working went to feed the family. So we were putting in the hours, weren't we?
Yes, we were. So I had a remote job working from home, so I was able to be with our young daughters during the day, and Rodney was working at nights, and then we'd go out and door knock during the day for several weeks.
Yeah, try to hit the 10 doors and hope to get one. And that was usually what it was. Sometimes two on a good day. But yeah, the company was called TK Haley after our three daughters, Trinity, Kylie, Haley. And several years later, we were really looking how we can help the community. And our church was big in foster care. So
yeah, in 2014, we became licensed foster parents and took in a girl named Ella. And she was 3 years old at the time. And during the course of time, we adopted her. And she did not like the name TK Haley because she was not in there. And she would sit on her bed with a business card and say, TK Ella, TK Ella. And that really caused Rodney and I to seek guidance and direction from other people, and also just wisdom of what to do. And we decided to rebrand to ZebraScapes, and Rodney had a really incredible vision and idea of wrapping trucks in zebra stripes to stand out. And a lot of people told us we were crazy, and yet best decision we made for the business.
yeah, we were definitely said we were going to be a cartoon. I wanted to mark the trucks so it can be seen. Our business grew, and owning a business is not the 9 to 5, 5 to 5. It is long hours. I remember in the rush of it, I would go to bed about 9:30. You'd go to bed about 2:30 in the morning, and we'd see each other. I was getting up and you were going to bed.
Yeah, I wanted to be with the girls during the day when they were home. They weren't in school yet, and so I wanted to be able to be with them. And so I would, after we put them to bed at night and Rodney would go to bed, I would stay up about 6 hours and do book work at that time. And so we'd pass each other in the wee hours of the morning.
I would start on my quotes, and then I get home, I'd park the trailer in the garage and work on tools till 9 o'clock. People don't think it's possible, but it's amazing what you do when you're in love with somebody.
Yeah. So I always joke with people when people ask where we graduated college that neither one of us did. We got our PhD in being poor, hungry, and driven. And so just to our listeners out there that maybe aren't good in school or don't have just success in testing environments, that entrepreneurs are built in a different way, and just to explore that. And the more that you see opportunity and pursue it, and doors can open.
Yeah, that's for sure. What are some of the things you learned owning a business? You regret it?
Oh my. learned so many things. So Rodney has a huge heart for people, and over the years, there was just so many people that he believed the best in and took advantage of him. And it's really heartbreaking to see because it starts to callous your heart towards wanting to help people, that there is genuine people in the world that want to change and better themselves. So I think looking back, we tried to maybe help too much to enable people more than they wanted to help themselves. What would you say about that?
100% true. I've believed a lot in people. I mean, there was several people that they cried. And I gave them an older truck, a couple 100,000 miles on them, and thought they deserved it. Only worked for me for 6 months, and they wrecked it a week later. And I don't know if I regret it, but I definitely learned a lot about leadership. Leadership. It takes a lot to lead. They got to want to. They got to be hungry. Those are the ones we have now. We're very grateful. The team, where we are today. It took a lot to get here. We just ground. We worked. We didn't think of it as a business, and our first yard for the first 7 years didn't have electricity, didn't have water. It was just a yard, and snow on the ground, whatever, until we were able to. We saved the money up. We didn't go out and get a bunch of debt, put a bunch of overhead over us. But now we're blessed with an amazing yard and an opportunity. But most of all, we seek to hire people
Smarter than us.
More knowledgeable. And that's where we are today. And now every time we hire someone, we're looking for where they can get to long term.
Yeah, I think, looking back, to tell my younger self is we maybe felt threatened by people smarter than us, and now see it as such an asset that you always want to surround yourself with people smarter than you. And also, just being in the business for so long, you help recognize that just because people are smarter than you doesn't mean that they can go out and start their own business and be successful. It takes a lot more than just being smart.
Yeah, I think when you talk about threatened, I always sit there and say, well, why would they work for us to do it themselves? Until about 10 years later, we hired some great people, and they just don't want to own their own business. They don't want those night hours, that full responsibility, but huge, knowledgeable, impactful people that taught us tremendous about business.
Yeah. I just remember in the younger years, maybe 10 years, 15 years ago, I would have receipts all over our house, and, try to teach my girls how to organize the receipts, credit card receipts, and put them in date order and highlight the totals and mark them off on the statement. So very early, 10 years old, they were doing that for me and getting everything organized. And I think it's going to help them in their futures as well.
Yeah, they were stuffing envelopes, advertising envelopes.
Yep.
Our two oldest girls, 13, 14, they were running on ads and just trying to market, to the point of riding in cleanup trucks, cleaning bushes, trimming bushes in our cleanup truck with two other guys. And as soon as they got 16, they quit. They said we paid enough.
Yeah, we had one time that they were wanting to earn money to go on a vacation, and we told them we could do this yard cleanup together as a family, and they could get paid for it to use on vacation. And at that time, they could barely even hold the backpack blower on their back, and yet there they were blowing the leaves out. And we have pictures of that. It's just such precious memories of just really teaching them the value of hard work, and that nothing's given to you freely, that a good work ethic will take you far in life.
Yeah. I don't think they're, years later, 18 years later, they've gone huge. We got one. Our oldest has a father-daughter construction, and their other one has a Lighthouse Coffee, which is great. But today, where we are today, 17 years later, we have grown. Our marketing has improved. We have some zebras at our place, huge marketing opportunity from the drive-by. So marketing is big. We went around town, put metal zebras up. Just it's a lawn ornament. There's nothing wrong about it. And we're
Yeah, we've tried to be heavily involved in the community. We participate in the 4th of July parade and Christmas parades and just events downtown. We try to have a client appreciation a couple times a year where they're invited to our yard and office and see various aspects of landscaping, water features, outdoor furniture, outdoor kitchens to try to help visualize what they could have in their yard. And we also do employee appreciation events. So our team always knows, the value of that they're bringing, the hard work every day, and that they're a valuable part of ZebraScapes.
Yeah, we started at Expo, Mother's Day. They come in for Expo, spring and fall. That's pretty big to tie in. We have food and everything here. It's awesome to see the employees that are enjoying it here. We learn a lot, and where we are today from where we came from is very impressive for neither of us. Any business background, no education. It's just
Yep.
hard work, like Denise said.
Everything's self-taught. So I love math and numbers and finances. And so I just learned profit and loss and balance sheet and all the things it takes to run a business just by Google. And Rodney is really gifted in marketing and he's a very out of the box thinker and comes up with sometimes what I think are crazy ideas that usually end up, being a smashing success. So I think together, just the visionary and the financial clarity has made us a successful team.
And one thing for sure, our focus ain't driven by money. Our focus is driven by our legacy.
Yes.
What we stand
Impact.
for. Yeah, that's huge. I lose sleepless nights with an unhappy customer that's disappointed in us. It will keep me up at night. We thrive. Our mission, our core values: quality, integrity, efficiency, teamwork, and relationships. That has driven us to where we are today. And that's the group of people we got. If they don't follow those, they can't be a lead of what we're looking for. We're actually constantly thriving to get people part of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've got a beautiful place on Willow Creek Road and have been able to just incorporate a lot of different landscape ideas into our yard and office area with pavers and synthetic turf and water features that people can come out and look at and just get ideas for what they could have in their yards as well.
So what's the future hold?
Only God knows.
Yeah, this is the good Lord's business. But one thing is we're working toward. We have one employee owned to get them bought into the company. We're only as good as they are. And so we are we offer to them and getting the steps to grow. We're kind of capped. We're done growing. We brought in several amazing people, workers, and they're like, let's ramp this thing up and make an impact, and let's start educating. And that's what this podcast is about, is basically educating new people that want to start their own business, and then also the customers that we have, what it took to where we get and who we are. I mean, we're very, very blessed. We have an amazing family. We do a lot with our family, and then, like you said, a lot in the community, and always looking at ways to be more helpful, more impactful, not only to the community, but the families and to the employees. So
yeah, I hope that this story is inspiring, especially to listeners that maybe think it's such a far reach, because literally we were trying to feed our kids supper that night. And so I hope that it can resonate with people to really motivate and inspire you that sometimes a dream seems big and far off, but go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's budget planning, staying on track is very important. I mean, you had a strong budget, a food budget. It was, if I remember right, $275 a month. And I would open the refrigerator and be like, there's nothing in there. And you said, you have 2 more days until the next month.
We had a lot of rice and beans.
That's right. A 5-pound bag of rice. But you know what? We stayed out of didn't use the credit card. We thrived and grind hard. And we're very blessed where we are today. It can't get my head around how the good Lord blessed us and where we are. So I want to thank you for listening and look forward to this podcast. It's Landscaping with ZebraScapes. We're hoping that we can teach, educate, and encourage people to be entrepreneurs of any sort, and also just to explore what you can do with your yard. And we're proud to be a part of your journey.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for tuning in to Landscaping with ZebraScapes. We hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring to your landscaping projects. For more tips and resources and to learn how ZebraScapes can help you transform your outdoor space, visit our website, www.zebrascapes.com. Until then, happy landscaping.